And they'll make small payments. They won't be anything large. There was a $20 charge for a corn site in Jamaica. And really, honestly, I don't go to porn sites in Jamaica. So somebody had gotten my card. But I saw that on there, and I called the credit card company, and they took it off, and I got a new credit card. But if I hadn't been looking carefully, that could have gone on for months, under the radar, something I might not notice. So always check your statement, and consider using your card less. Yes?
So is that really the only, like, if you're in one of those big hacks and they said you may or may not, you'll be notified or whatever, and you don't ever hear anything, is the thing to watch for, is it only your, is it mainly your statement, or do they take that credit card number and can they steal your identity or whatever from that?
No, it's your statement. They're just gonna use the card.
Just for the card.
Right, and so the options they have is they can try and do small enough payments that you won't notice for a long time, or they can just go on a shopping spree as fast as they can and use it until it's turned off. But you may not know for years. There are thousands and thousands of cards that you can buy, and so one of them may be my old card before Scorcc got hacked, and I got a new one. So I would never know until somebody actually bought it and used it.
So is it good to change cards periodically?
Wouldn't be a bad idea, I guess.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Some people only use those limited credit cards for online purchases. That's not a bad idea either, because you can just put a certain amount of money on it, and it can't ever get charged more than that amount, whatever you put on there.
Thank you.
Yes?
Okay, you can call your credit card company and they'll issue you a number, not a card, but a number, just temporary. Let's say you're going to go to Europe, or you're just going to go somewhere on vacation. You can, in the States, you can go ahead and say, and they'll give you the 25-digit number, won't charge anything for it, and that number, you can say, I only want $700 on that card, or whatever, whatever it is, and that number goes away after a week or two.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wanted just to add something Dan said about number 2 bullet point. Don't do any kind of online banking at a public like Starbucks, McDonald's, because those places are more easily hackable too. So don't do anything volatile. Just you can do browsing, just don't do anything security wise.
Whenever you have a Wi-Fi point doesn't have a password, like at the library or at Starbucks, then anybody can get on that network. And once they're on the network, they can monitor the other traffic on the network.
Even if it's your computer.
Yeah. So it's like walking into a room with anybody, bad guys, and you just want to be careful what you're doing in those environments. So when you're going to do anything that you don't want anybody to know about, make sure you're on a secure network.
What about phones, like making payments over phones?
Well, and see, we've been doing that for a long time, and same difficulties, right? So whenever you use a credit card, give it out over the phone. You don't know who's on the other end, maybe they're jotting it down and selling it. We have to hope not. We have to hope that any company that you would be giving it to would be very aware of the fact that they'd be in trouble if that happened.
Right. If you're using data over Wi-Fi, like you're using your data thing over Wi-Fi.
Oh, I see.
Is that still vulnerable to do that? Like if somebody could hack into your phone?
I don't know. I don't know that phone conversations are that much monitored.
Not conversations, but if you're browsing through your phone, it'd be the same thing. Because you can actually have you can think it says like St. Louis Airport a hotspot, and actually it's my hotspot that I called St. Louis Airport, and you connected to me, and everything you're doing, you're connecting to my laptop. So so hotspots out there. Hotspot is your wireless thing that you see at Bread Company or McDonald's. Those can be more or less fake. So you got to be careful when you connect that you're connecting to the right thing. Same with your phone. It's just another browser.
Be careful.
Well, a lot of the prepaid cards, they charge you a monthly fee, but if you shop around, I just found one at the credit union. It's only $3.95 to open it. And if you have an automatic deposit put on the thing, they waive the.
Commerce Bank, which is where I have mine, it doesn't charge you.
It's first community credit union, but it's.
Yeah. So it's possible to get one of those pretty cheap. Yes.
In a while back, it hasn't been in the last few months, but some time ago, probably 4 years ago, Discover was the only card I was aware of that when you were on your computer, you could log into Discover and they would generate a random number that you could put, you put your account in and they would generate a random number that you could use to charge something. And the first time I tried it, I did it online, I charged something, and I charged some, I went after I charged it, which was a small amount, it was a book or something for $5. I went ahead and tried to put a charge in again with that same number for like $1, and it rejected it. It's a one-time number.
That's great.
Oddly enough, within a year, they said they were going to drop it. They had so much reaction from the card members that they extended it. A year later, all of a sudden it just went away. It must be a big bookkeeping problem from them, a really hard thing to do, but it was great for cardholders.
Well, there's no doubt that we have a problem in our civilization with money transfers right now, and we're just going to have to fix it. But in the meantime, we just have to be careful, I guess. But there's no way to really avoid running some risks every time you pay for anything. Yes.
Does a master password help you in not being scanned or not being hacked?
A master password, as in like an app or something that holds your passwords, or
No, well, it's a security where you can set up a master password, so you have your password, you know, to get in, but then it won't let you in until you put in that master password,
there's
which
another layer of
only you
password.
know.
I mean, hopefully all your passwords are things only you know. Hopefully, so a password. We're going to talk about passwords in a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
Get to the whole
Okay.
password issue. So let's talk about passwords. It's actually my next topic here. So most people are not trying to hack into your account or your email, but there might be people who will. So you might be surprised who would want to get into your mail. The ex-husband, or the guy you dated in high school, you know, finds your name and wants to try and get into your mail for some reason. You know, you never know. Or if somebody had any reason to believe you had anything they wanted. So passwords, if you get into somebody's mail, you can get into anything because password resets always go through your email. So a common way people get into problems is they will, if somebody gets into their email, then that person will go to whatever account they want and say they've forgotten their password, email me my password, and before you know it, they've got all your accounts, changed all the information, so you can't get into them anymore. They can get to your bank, they can get to Amazon.com where you buy things, and they have your credit card number, so you don't want people to do that. Now, nobody, as I say, is probably targeting you. If somebody really wanted to get in, though, the only thing standing between them and you is your password. So let's talk about passwords a little bit. First of all, most people do not have good passwords. So let me show you a list of the 1,000 most common passwords. This is as of a year or so ago. So the most common password that everybody uses is password, believe it or not. The next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it goes down. Cordy, of course, is keys on the typewriter, right? There's a few I had to leave holes because we could not project them on the. They're not suitable for projection. But we just go down the line here. See, there's a lot of holes here. We can't write those. So these are the most common ones. There's about 1,000 of them here. If you use one of these passwords, your account can be hacked in about 30 seconds because what somebody will do is they just run a little program and try all of them. And so if you use one of them, they're in. It's an automatic hack. According to what I've read, I think it's a little better now than it was about a year ago when I first made this presentation, but 5% of all people, and they know this because they've gotten long lists of password and name combinations that have been hacked from other computers. So they've analyzed these to see what kind of passwords people use. That's why they know the 1,000 most common. 5% of the people use the password password. 5%. 10% of the people use the password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 out of 10 people. If you try those two things, you're in. 15% of us use the top 10 passwords. 40% have a password in the top 100. And according to this, what I've read, 90% of us use one of these 1,000 top passwords. So if you're using one of these and it goes down, you can see the kind of thing people are using. That's not good enough. Right? That is not going to keep any account secure. So let's talk about what kind of a password you do need to use. First of all,